So, what do you get when you give an engineer a boat, a month's worth of quarantine, and a 50 cal ammo can, you might ask? Why, you get this sexy DIY boat grill, perfect for cooking up some brats in the water. Hi, I'm Joey Brown, and this is today's Tiny Build. To make this grill, I scavenged a grill plate from an old rusted charcoal grill and commenced cutting it to size. Don't forget fashion when working on projects such as this, as I decided to show off my southern charm with these classy overalls. To add to the excitement, I nicked my finger before remembering to wear gloves anytime you're turning metal rods into sharp and pointy flesh kebabs. Hey guys, so we're out in the garage today and we're continuing our 50 cal grill project. I've already cut off some pieces from my other grill to make for the top, and I added a base in here as well so that the coals will hopefully have a little bit of height. I've also drilled some holes in the bottom, and I kind of lit a fire in here just to burn out some of the interior paint, but that's not getting on my burgers. So next up, this is pretty much just going to sit in there, stay there, and be elevated and be fine, and I want to be able to take it out easily. But the next part of the build that I need to worry about is somehow to mount this top grill plate such that it's sitting pretty much at the surface. So my thoughts are that I'm going to have bolts coming in from either side. Two of those bolts will be actually used to attach to the boat itself. Now, I cut my finger pretty badly on this last night, so I'm going to take a few minutes and ground off the edges before I start manipulating this around too much. The outside part, I'm just going to have these short screws going in, but for the part that actually connects the boat, we've got a piece here. It's going to have to go through both sides like so. Hardest part about drilling into steel is usually just like that. The bit wants to wander. So one great tool to have in the shop is a punch like this. This one's a spring-loaded guy, so we just kind of find the spot in the metal we want. Now on to some paint. For this kind of project, regular spray paint won't cut it. You'll need to use something like this high heat grill paint for the entire grill. You can find this at most hardware stores with the rest of the spray paint or in the outdoor section near the grills. Don't use any primer with this paint, but do make sure that you sand or score the surface so your paint will actually stick. Now I just need the rain to stop. Now that we're all painted up and the sun is shining, it's time to mount this beauty. We start by punching and drilling holes in the aluminum. Take care to line these up properly on both sides, perpendicular to the rail. So I added these spacers here with nuts so that my lid could close properly. All right, final install is complete. The lid opens great. And everything fits snugly inside. So one thing we haven't talked about yet is the type of screws that I'm using for this project to bolt it onto the aluminum frame here. It's very important that we use stainless steel screws in this type of application. So the primary reason for using stainless steel in the grill is for saltwater resistance, and I wanted to point out a couple of fasteners that have been with the boat since it was built, such as these and like this one over here, and then compare that to one of these screws, which is just like a standard anodized hardware screw that I used. And really, anytime you're on saltwater, you want to go with stainless because they have so much more corrosion resistance. I mean, these were with the boat when it was built, and this one over here corroded almost immediately. Our second reason for using stainless steel is for heat resistance. To illustrate this problem, we have stainless, galvanized, and zinc-plated bolts. What we're going to do is simply light a fire and drop them in. Okay, so we left this guy overnight and gonna dust these off and see what we've got. Okay, so let's take a quick look at our stainless, galvanized, and zinc plated bolts and a kind of before and after the heat treating there. So the zinc is clearly the worst when it comes to corrosion due to heat. And this isn't really corrosion so much as the zinc plating baking off. So I've got new and then quote unquote old here. And we can see that That zinc plating is just turned into this like pure white powder after baking. The galvanized, on the other hand, is a little harder to tell the difference. I mean, clearly there's some discoloration, but I can't quite tell if the galvanization has actually baked off or if it's just kind of discolored from the heat. I'd probably feel safe enough using galvanized bolts on the grill, but stainless is definitely where I feel the most comfortable. You still have a little bit of a shine even on the one afterwards, and that's because the stainless steel does not use a plating like both of these. The steel itself is made to be corrosion and heat resistant. A quick test in the yard shows that the grill works, but I added a few more holes to the side to increase the airflow. Nothing quite like that sound. Starting this grill is just like any other charcoal grill, and I have to say this is now my favorite feature on the boat. Cheap, fast, and effective, there's nothing like enduring a quarantine with family on the water to the sounds and smells of fresh brats on a charcoal fire. Thanks for watching, guys.